Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Digit D, and today I have another awesome review for you guys, and it's over this game called Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact. I'm gonna get this. This game is called Genshin Impact. I'm getting this out of the way now, so I'm letting you guys know now. This game is I have to get this out here. I have to get it out here now before I start this review. They call this game, since it's just this game is a gacha game. It's an open world RPG gacha game that came for phones, that be Android, iOS, PC, and PS4. So people would just say this is just a gacha game and it should follow the gacha game rules. I have to say no to that because of the simple fact it's a PS4 game, for one, and a PC game. I'm playing this with this controller here on this PC of mine. I'm playing this specifically on PC. I don't play this on my phone. I don't go around playing this game for 30 minutes to 45 minutes on my phone. I play this game for 1 to 2 hours on my PC. Because there's some people out there that says, oh, you're rushing the game. You're doing this too fast. I've heard and read people's arguments out there for this game. And it's like, but the game developer should not dictate on how a player should play this game. They should be able to do and play whatever they want to play. So for my reasoning saying this is not a mobile game, even though it is a mobile game for phones, it's more of a home console game that you can actually sit down and play for hours on end with co-op features that are added in. It's more like a live service game like Destiny 2, The Division, and a bunch of those other live service games out there. This is what this game is more tailored toward. It's an action adventure RPG open world game that follows mobile rules when it shouldn't follow mobile rules of the phone. Because a lot of people, if you don't have a high power phone that's something like this phone here, I have a Samsung Galaxy A51. I can play this game on this phone. If you're using phone technology that's from back in the day, you can't play this game. But if you use a computer from back in the day, you probably still can't play this game. But if you have a PS4, you can play this game on there. So this is what this is about. I'm letting you know now on how I feel, and this is going to be a long review. So let's get straight into the meat and potatoes of this game, because this is a game. This is a very long this is a game. And also I want to get out there before I start this review is that this game's been in the works for a very long time. This game has been basically, I will say it's been finished. This game is finished. People are going to say it's unfinished, but like I said in my earlier statement, this is like a live service game. So they will continuously update this game. When a game goes gold and it comes out, it's out for everyone to play. So they have the base game finished. All what they're doing now is just adding more stuff to the game to keep you invested so you could keep playing the game. So this game is completely done. It's just when they did testing years ago, like I've seen gameplay tests of people put their stuff on YouTube that's been playing this game in like 2018, about 2018 been playing this game. So this game's been out, it's been in beta test since 2018, and then from all the way up. So they've been doing a lot of stuff before this game actually came to the release date of last year in September or March or whatever. It was near the end of the year. So, but that's what I would say on this game. So if anybody want to challenge me that, you can make comments in the bottom of this review. Comment and I will respond and talk to you because I would love to see your guys' point of view. It's a little bit there, but this is just how I feel. The game's been out for a very long time now, so. But let's jump into the actual review for this game of Genshin Impact. I hope you guys stay and watch the entire video. I know this is going to be a long one if you have time because of COVID, because of stuff that's going out in the world right now. I bet you do have time, but if you want to watch the whole thing, you don't have to. I will have snippets in this video where you can see the parts where you can cut to different spots or jump to certain sections of this video so you can understand or watch my review, because this is going to be an in-depth review of this video game. I have played this for a lot of hours, maybe at least 60 to 100 hours or more I've put into this game. I've played this game a lot already, so this is, when I play a game and I like it this much, I'm going to have a lot of say. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to be talking about this game, and it's going to be a lot of problems. Some good, some bad, but they have to be said. So let's talk about the game and review this game. So, first off, you got to use your mouse to do this part here when you're trying to get started into the game, and you come into here. So we're going to first, so let me do this now. We're entering story mode. I'm going to start talking to you about the story for this game. Alright, so we're going to be talking about story for this game of Genshin Impact. The story is what brings this game all together. It brings in people. It brings in viewerships. The story of this game all starts off with the 5-star character that goes by the name. I changed their name. Her name is Lumine. She does have a twin brother named Aether, and they come to the world of Genshin Impact by accident because they were flying through this world and some god stopped them and transported them here, but they are separate. So these are all spoilers, by the way. They are separate and they have to come find each other. Well, not find each other. It's more like when you pick the character, you either pick the boy or the girl. You can be the boy twin or the female twin. And once you pick your twin, you go through the game playing as that twin, and you're supposed to be on the hunt for looking for your other twin and find out where your twin has been. But there's a major problem with the story in this game. The story is you go to this area that is in Mondstadt. This is where mostly the game is played, but you come here and that's in Mondstadt. This is the area where you begin in. And you go from up here and you walk and you get to explore, and this is where you come across in this area of the game that I'm going to now. Start off on the shore of this game and you run into Paimon. Paimon is she's basically your inventory system. Paimon's your inventory system. And you come off into this area here. This is where the game starts. You learn a little bit of the game as you're playing through the story. And you go through the story, but there is no story. There's not really much story here. Because the story is you're following Mondstadt's story. You get the story from your quests. These main quests here are your story quests that you go through to get story for the game, but it's only story for that specific area or specific character, or that is it. It's not story for your main character. So if you're expecting to get story for the two main characters that I just said, that be her, it's not there that much in this game physically. If you want to read information more about the characters and get more background for the story, you have to click on their profile, and it has it right here, and they talk about other stuff that's going on in the game. Basically the town of Mondstadt, the other places in Leeway, the other places that they talk about. This is basically here. This is the only time you also get voice chatting or voice acting for the specific characters that are in this game is in this section. The only when you're doing story mode or playing the storyline of the game and you're doing quests, Paimon will do all of the talking for the most for almost all the parts. You will have little sections where you decide which line of text do you pick, and that's about it. The first time I've heard Lumine say something in this game is, spoiler warning, is at the end of the Leeway story arc. Once you finish the Leeway story arc, she finally says something about needing help to find her lost brother. But that's the thing. She doesn't bring it up to anybody except Paimon. And Paimon suggests to go find the seven gods and then ask them questions of the areas. So during that time frame, she learns that information from specific, goes and does the story quest for Mondstadt, and you meet Venti. Another spoiler, he is the god of that area, but you find out he doesn't have the right information you need because you do not ask him any information about your brother or anywhere you can see him or anything information that way. You even go to Leeway, another spoiler, where you meet, his name is Zongli. I think I'm saying his name wrong. Um, and you meet him. He is the god of Leeway. You finally get the chance. All of the time you get the chance to talk to these gods are at the end of the story arc, but you never have questions about your brother or your sister, that be your other twin, to them. The only time they brought it up was in a cutscene after you finished the main story plot, and that was it. None of the quests in this game determines that location to the links to the story of your main character here, of what she is. She is a 5-star character. She's an adapti character who adapts to the elements. So pretty soon, whenever they have all the elements out, she can become all of the elements in the game. So this is where you get your other story of what she thinks about everything else in the characters. You also have all of this stuff here, but it doesn't really talk about her background, what she does before she came or before she arrived to Genshin Impact, before she had got trapped and everything. Because at the very beginning, it shows they have powers, they can fly, but they don't explore any of that. They show that, but you can fly in the game. It's just gliding, though. It's only gliding. So this is basics. This is basically your story for this game. Is that there's no story for your main character, but story for everyone else. So you don't have the story snippets parts is all coming from these for each and every character that's in this game. So if you want more story, you have to level unlock their friendship to get their friendship high enough, and then once their friendship is high enough, you get to learn more stuff about what foods they like, what stuff they don't like, what's about Mondstadt, what they like about Leeway, stuff like that. That's basically it for the story. You have to go physically do quests to do the stories just to see more of the story and more of the sequence of animation. They all, almost all of the main plot story is voice acting, which is actually really good if you ask me. Their voice acting is really good. It's not bad at all. And it's good, but the main character doesn't have any voice acting lines. What makes it like Link, they're just a mute character through the whole thing, and it's like Paimon does the talking, so you'll hear Paimon's voice all the time, and she talks in third person, so she says Paimon this, Paimon's doing that, Paimon. So there's a chance that your emergency food will go a little bit bad. But that's the story of this game. If you want more story, and you have to go to archives here, because you do get an archives, and you can get more story from books. It talks more about everything else. If you want actual lore for the game, if you want to actually do some stuff in the game, but you have to go explore and find the books. Once you do, you got more lore of the game, what's going on in specific areas, but you have to do a lot of reading. So this is a lot of reading. They don't have anything where you can watch old cutscenes again, like in some games where they allow you to watch old cutscenes. You can see the travel log. Here you can see of what I did to find and see here. And you can see this is the old story. This is the story of the game. It's fully right here. You got the Outlander win call, and it tells you all the stuff that I went to go do to do these quests. And then you go click on the next one, Prologue Act 2, and you can see here, this is basically the story of the game. You can actually replay them if you want for the story, so you can actually hear, but you don't get to see it at all. So basically the acting is already done in this area for the section of the game, and you can see there's two sets of areas for what your story quests are. So if you missed any snippets of it, you can go back to it and find out your stories through your travel log. And then you got your geography that talks about other story elements that are for the Mondstadt area and for the Leeway area. But for the most part, that's where your stories are. If you want stories on specific artifacts, they do give you the information at the bottom of the screen, and it tells you what they are, what they do, and everything else that's in the game, or what they look like, but they don't tell you where to get them at. They don't tell you the location or any of that stuff. So if you like what I've talked about in the story so far, that's basically it for the story. So that's what you get for the story. And as I was just showing you in the travel log, in like Prologue Act 1, it's mostly just Paimon talking here. And then if you go through, like, my main character is right here. She doesn't talk. You can switch the two things out. You can see what the dialogue option was for the story. But you can see where there's a play button. Here's what Paimon sounds like.
Luckily, Paimon managed to grab hold of your hair. Thanks.
So you can see what Paimon sound like. But if you want to hear what her sound like, you can't really sound what she sound like until you go into your character selection and then pick Lumaine and then go to profile. So that'd be character selection, like I said, character, go down to the character, then go to profile, and then you can hear what she sounds like. So I'm going to play a little bit and then I'm going to stop it.
Mondstadt has so many windmills, doesn't it?
Well, the city is built above water, so it probably relies on windmills to draw the water upwards.
That's correct. The winds blow through Mondstadt all year,
So there you go. You got to hear what the character sounds like. But there's not that in the story at all. There's none of that in the story. Like, they don't have any pre-recorded voice acting done for the mute characters. So, but yeah, this is just the story of the game, and I have to say, but that's about it. So let's jump into the next section of the game, and that is level design. We're going to talk about level design. Level design. Now, level design of this game is actually really good. They did a really good job. The level design of this game, you could tell it is actually one giant map. Basically, the level is one giant map. It's an open world, just like Breath of the Wild, and it's one giant map. All of the spots that you see where green land is with a little bit of water, you can explore, except past these lines here, because this is where they're going to add in more stuff in the later years and slash future of this game, for how long this game will last if people keep giving it money. But you can see there's tons of areas, and this is just in one spot. I zoomed all the way out. Now you can see everywhere else. This is down here in Leeway, and you can see the name of specific areas. So if I go to Leeway here, you can see the geology of what the place looks like. Whew. So let me show you what it looks like. So look at that. You can see the mountain range. You can see the far depths in the background here. You can actually hear, it sounds like they're going through the grass here when you're walking through the grass for the level design. You can actually see how high detailed it looks for specifics of the textures and everything on the game. You can see what the textures of the areas look like, which is really cool. Like, they did a really good job for this game. They took the time and they did a good job. That's why this game has so much depth and stuff into it. Even if I go to this area, if I go up here, this is a whole nother section too. Another area you can go to. You just have to explore basically everywhere. But you can see the texture quality, the fog on the all on this one giant island or one giant place. You can see the fog. You can see everything in the game. You can see what it looks like. And then as I travel, you can see stuff in the background fade in or get closer, and it's not a pop onto the screen. So, which is actually really good. They did an amazing job on the texture qualities and the level design. This probably took forever for them to do, is to show the game design and everything for this game. You can see, I can see the water down here. I'm gonna go down like this and go to the bottom. I'm gonna lose like maybe half HP or a lot of HP if you do that. You can see the water down here. You can hear the water. This is the water splashing for the texture design. They did an amazing job. You can actually hear the swim, but you can't dive in the game, so you can't go underwater at all. But you can hear how they did everything in this game, where the level design it looks amazing. I give them that. That looks amazing. The level design looks amazing. So, and that's basically it for level design. There's not really much I can really talk about besides the graphics of the game. So let's talk about the graphics for the game. The graphics and slash, let's jump into the next section. Graphics, animation. Graphics and animations for this game. So the graphics is, you can see what just Paimon just did, right? So let me turn off my camera for a second. You can see Paimon's right there. I leave, she teleports away. That's a pretty cool animation. You can see the little purple thing that I have. No, it's pink. The pink blob that I have. You can see its animations there. You can look at the animations qualities of me doing this walk and run. You can see the animation of the grass as the grass is falling back and stuff as you're walking over it. So that's really good. You can actually see the animations of this and everything else. Also, when you attack, the animations look really nice. They look fluent. They look pretty cool. These are all the book users in the game. If you want to see that, let me switch out party setup real quick. I'm gonna make a party of just sword users.
May knowledge guide you.
Come with me.
Sword user, maybe a bow user.
Keep your eyes wide open.
And then, Yeah, that's basically all of them. That's basically all of them. So let's see. Ba da 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 da. So is your animations for each and every different character has a different type of sword, a type of attack animations that they do. Like he does, she has a great sword, but you can see that she attacks different. Or you got the bow. Most bow users attack the same, most, but you can see the animations there. We will go to like a better area so you can actually see what I mean. Let's go to a flat area. That's not like surrounded by grass. Alright, so now we're not surrounded by grass, and you can actually see what I mean. So, like her, she's doing, that's her attack animations there. They all get their own cool animations, which is actually really cool. Like him, if you do his special move, you get another one. But you can see, all of their attack animations are different. They're a little really cool. You have small animations in here that they do. If you see, you can see that they added this in for their cool character animations that they do for specific characters. They also do talk, but after a while, they do say the same lines over and over and over again, so it does get kind of tedious at some point. But you can see certain specific characters do their own animation stuff in their own specific way. Some have the same stuff. But the graphics of this game looks amazing. They did a great job in the graphics department. The world looks amazing. The character models look amazing. They all look amazing. So if you want to get a better close-up look of a character, just click on basically profile, and then you can just go around them. Or you can just click talents, and you get the closer look of all of the characters and see what they look like for their design and everything up close. You can see that each and every character has their own basic design of what they fit for style. For like her, she is a battle maid, not battle mage, a battle maid like her. So you can see that they took the time out, they did the designs for each and every character, and it made it look amazing. They did a great job. Everything is point. You can read everything. Nothing's too blindy. You can see everything. If you wanted to change up the settings, you can, and it still looks good. If you make the graphics look like crap, I've done that multiple times. I have the resolution on high and extreme because of my PC, but everything in this game does look cool. It looks amazing, and the animation quality is really good when they attack, when they do specific moves, and everything else. They did a phenomenal job on that. So I do give them credit on what that needs to be done on the gameplay, on the graphics / animations of the game. So now we're going to get into the juicy part of the game. And the most juiciest parts of this game is going to be a long segment. And that is gameplay mechanics. You guys, gameplay mechanics. The gameplay mechanics for this game is what makes this game kind of limiting on everything you do in this game. This game is basically, spoiler alert, gambling in one way or another. You will be gambling if you don't have money. Even if you have zero money, you're still going to be gambling with this game because of the system of how it's built. This game has the free model, so they can do microtransactions and get you to pay money for a lot of stuff. And that is the major part of this gameplay mechanic, is paying money. Are you a free-to-play player, or are you pay to win player? That's basically it. You are me, on the other hand. I play this game. I'm a free to play player. I will play this game no matter what I do. Free to play. That's basically what I'm doing for this game. I'm playing this game for free to play only. Free to play. I did have a second account, but I don't have that account. First account, I don't have that anymore. I spent $5, but then I realized, no. This game is... The gameplay mechanics of this game is basically... It is very, very predatory, and there's a lot of gambling in this game, so watch yourself while playing this game. If you truly not pay any money, and also another major thing that is in this game for gameplay mechanics is they limit on what you as a player can do. They will limit everything you do. I've gotten through the good stuff or whatever I've talked about from those sections, but now we're at the point where I talk about the limiting factors, or not the limiting factors, but the gameplay mechanics of this game. It all still comes down to the definition of this game. Is it fun? I will say yes, it's fun. But at a certain point, it gets boring, and it will get boring very fast, very quick. I played this game ever since it started, when it came out, when it hit the release date, not the beta test versions, but when it hit the release date of the game being out. That's when I started playing this game. I didn't really know much back then, but now I know a lot from then, and I will let you know now. So, first of the gameplay mechanics, I'm going to talk about are the quests. You get a series of quests when you play this game. After a specific amount of quests have been done, you are done with all the quests in this entire game. Once you finish all of the quests, I've read people's stuff where people have finished every single last quest in this game. There is no more quest after that. There's not much you can do. You do get daily quests, but these daily quests are usually the same quest all the time. They're either the same or they're different. They're mostly the same with different monsters or different mobs. You're either fighting somebody, like killing 5 or 6 monsters. I think the maximum is 9 or 8. And then, or if you're going to go do a fetch quest, you go pick up something for them and then bring it back. Or you do the stupid balloon one where you have to fight a balloon. I don't like that one. Or you do the escort mission where you think you're escorting a person. You're just escorting goods. You're just escorting a non-physical option. They do allow you, or there's a defense quest. These are all spoilers, by the way, for your dailies. You're going to come across them sooner or later. Like, if you want to get specific achievements, you have to get, like, specific quest achievements. You have to do their daily quest, or figure out which one it is. So, they do give out these rewards every single day. These change every single day. They are random every single day, but sometimes you do get the same quest. Like, I've read somebody had got the same 3 quests every single day. So, it's really sucks. I also figured out how to rig your daily quest. Like, let's say I'm in Mondstadt right now, okay? I close out the game, I do all my stuff, I end the day. Tomorrow, since I load the game back up and I'm in Mondstadt, I will have all quests that are in Leeway. All of them. All of my daily quests will be in Leeway. If you don't believe me, I can't show you, but I can show you. It just takes time. if if I'm in Leeway and I end the game the next day, all my daily quests will be in Mondstadt. So that's how they get you. And then you already done them so many times, they're super easy and they can be done in like 5 or 6, less than a couple of minutes. If you have a strong party like I do for my character wise, level 80, 80, 80, and level 60 because I was having Barbara do something, but my main party
Need my help?
is with Diona. I finished these quests in no time. When they want to do another quest, like they give out these quests here. These are like blue quests that are on the map icon that shows up as blue, like it just showed up there. I retrieve whatever they want me to do. That don't take long. You look it up. The quest is done. Boom, you got all the items. You have another set of quests here that you can go do, and it doesn't take long to do. But once you do all of them, I'm not doing all of them because I chose not to do all of them because, I'm at that point of the game where I'm just working on making my characters pretty darn strong. But stay on top of Backstrom for quests. So this is basically it. You do get other quests called story quests, and these story quests are for specific characters. You got one for Mona. You got one for Zhongli, I think I say his name wrong, and you do have one for him. You do also have one for Ganyun, which is really cool. You do get story quests, but to get these story quests, you have to get the story keys, and to get the story keys, you have to complete, well, it says it right there, complete 8 daily commissions to receive the keys. So you can complete 8, which is 2 days, so because you get a total of 4. I'm already at max. I already unlocked all of these. They didn't take long to unlock all of these. And the other requirement for these is they're locked behind your adventure rank. So if you don't have a high adventure rank, my adventure rank is 45, you can't really do any of these story quests at all. But when you do them, they're extremely short. You get to do maybe 1 or 2 things. They join your party for a while. You do the dungeon area with them in your party. After that, the quest is done, and boom, they're out of your party for the rest of the game. So, until you get them in the gacha system. And that's basically what it is for the quest. That's the other main part of this game is your quest. But once you're done with quests, there's basically any more. You only have your daily ones to do, and after the daily ones, they get very, very boring. Then you have the other ones that you can do that are in the game, and that is your reputation system. There is a reputation system in the out with your areas for Leeway or Mondstadt. And when you're helping them out in Leeway or Mondstadt, you get specific items and goods for helping them out. But down here, they do have other quests you can do for those areas. But you're only limited, I said limited, 3 per week. That's it, 3 per week. You can only do 3 per week. These are weekly quests that you could do. You have the weekly ones you can accept where they have you go out and fetch some item and bring it back to them. If you already have the item in your inventory, there's really no point to do the quests. I stopped doing those because they don't give out much. Then you have the bounties. The bounties are another quest that allows you to go out into the world and search for these. I'm going to let you know now, when the game very first came out, this wasn't in it. They didn't have any of this in it. They had to bring it out in an update. So like I said, this game is going to get periodic updates. So they brought in the reputation system to help give players something to do because everyone was finishing the base game way too fast. You got bounties. Your bounties, you can select easy, medium, and hard. Those are the 3 you get to choose from. And then each quest bounty is tied to Leeway and Mondstadt. So let's say I complete all 3 of these in Mondstadt. I can't do it in Leeway. I have to wait a whole nother week to do it in Leeway. And that's how this stuff works. And your reputation rewards will give you reputation rewards. But once you hit level 7, you have, or level 8, you have the items and you have another gliding wing that you can do. So there is another set of things you can do. It's not really a quest, but it's your adventure handbook that they give you. It tells you what the items you can do, commissions you can do, on find the area so you can start doing stuff around the world. This is not really a quest, but it is part of the part of your quest stuff, and you can see what the enemies are. So that is gameplay. That is not gameplay mechanics. That's just the quest. Now we're going to go a little bit more further deep with gameplay mechanics and other stuff you can do. Alright, so we're going to talk about the next major thing in this game, besides your quest, are progression. Your character progression, your weapon progression, your item progression, all your progression in this game that makes your character stronger, or stuff that makes you as a player feel good. But I think before I talk about the progression, I need to talk about one other main factor in this game, but I'll probably wait until the end to talk about it, and I probably will. But let's talk about the progression since I brought it up. So we're going to talk about the character progression. Your character, that be either Sucrose or Niguang or Lisa or Diona, are all locked behind a gacha system. So, like, let me show you what I mean. The character, go to the character archive. So, the characters that are locked behind us. Okay, so we're going too far. Well, I'm going back to character progression. I got to stay on track. Character progression is what you want to do to make your character stronger. So Sucrose, I want to make Sucrose stronger. The only way I can is with weapons, or artifacts, or her constellation, and her talents. If I want to make this character stronger, I have to raise up all of these here. Also, your main attributes of level determine makes your character how strong. But each and everything is it's more of a tedious process to go through to level up just your character to make them stronger. And I mean, you will be playing for days to get just the character to level 80. It took me days to get 4 characters to level 80. It took days to do that. You want to know why it take days? Because of another progression system, another thing that I will talk about in this system here, but let me get to talking about this first. So your constellations, you get this in the gacha system. You have to get a chance to get that character 8 times to make them stronger in their talents. And each constellation gives out a new, better ability when you get more of that specific character. Your artifacts here, every character can wear whatever artifacts you have, but you also have set bonuses that will make your character stronger. And if you have a specific character that does a specific thing with the elements, they will fit that character correctly and make them feel stronger. You also have your talent books where you can actually level up the strength of your moves that you're doing. There's only 3 you can level up. That be the main attack, your special, and then your burst. That be your elemental burst. That be their ultimate move that they can do. So if you want to level these up, you have to get talent material books to level this up. Then also you have to level up your attributes if you want to level up. So if I want to ascend to level 90, I have to get all the ascend materials to level her up to level 90, and then I have to make sure I have let's see, not ascend, let's find another character that does not have ascend next to it. Level up, I have to find these level up books to level up the character. And then all of this does cost Mora, so you have to take in consideration that you have to go find these experiment books, then you gotta have the Mora, and then you have to have the item requirements to ascend your character. That's a lot that is locked behind this progression. This is just your progression for one character. That's just one character, and I have like not 20, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have 18 characters, and that's progression for each and every character. And I only have 4 at level 80. I don't even know how I do know how mostly everyone plays because I played all of them and got to see how they're built and whatever. But that's a lot for character progression. That is a lot. And most of this stuff is locked behind a specific system. So I need to talk about that now. And that specific system in this game is the resin system. The resin is the biggest gameplay mechanic that locks everything you do in this game for character progression.
Transfers of supplies
resin is what destroys this game completely. That's what I say. That's what I think. And resin is what's holding this game back. Resin is the only thing that locks everything away. Okay? So, what I mean, let me show you. If I go to character, I want to get Sucrose, okay? To ascend her, there's a specific item on here. Like this Whomper Flute, this Energy Nectar, I can go fight Whomper Flowers that are on the world. It's not locked behind anything. The flowers, I can go run around the world. That's not locked behind anything. This fight here for this item, it's locked behind a resin. You have to have resin to get this item. You have to fight a boss that drops it, and it automatically always will drop. No matter what you do, you'll always get 1 or 2. Once you get a little bit higher, you get maybe more, but they're locked behind resin. That's the only way to get this is behind resin. This right here, you can find them out you cannot find this item out in the world at all. You get them from there's probably a store named a jeweler, but they sell the, if I go to items here, my inventory, and I'll show you what I mean. They sell the lower version at a souvenir shop. But you want to get the higher version, you have to combine items to get it. But if you want more than what they have at the souvenir shop, because they only have a limited supply of like 6 of them, yeah, that's all you get in the shop is only 6, and then it doesn't refill. Once you buy all of them, you bought all of them. You only get 6. The rest are dropped from that boss monster I've talked to. You have to fight the boss monster for it to drop to get those specific items. So, just to ascend her, I have to get 6 of those. I have to fight the Animo Hypostasis boss fight more than 6 times to get 6 of these. Because I need 20 of those. And if the 20 of this, and if the Hurricane Seed only drops 2 at a time, that is 10 times that I have to fight the Animo Hypostasis. And it costs 40 resin per fight. So you use all of the resin you have. So 40, 80, 120, 160. That's only 4 times a day. You're out of resin. If you're a free-to-play player, you don't have any more way to raise up your resin. Once you're out, you're out. You have to wait 8 minutes to get 1 resin back. So you wait 1 minute to get 8 resin back, and with that resin, it takes a while. It takes almost all 10 hours or more just to get 160 resin back. And that takes forever, so you have to play on a specific mount. If I wasn't doing this review, I would already be done for the day. I would have done the 4 dailies and used up all my resin, and then I would have just quit and played something else. But since I'm doing the review for you guys, and this is my in-depth review for Genshin Impact, the resin is what holds this game back. Let me talk about weapons. Even with your weapon enhancements, these 2 items here, you can get out in the world. You fight lower ranked people, but here, this thing is locked behind resin, and it tells you what days, Monday to Thursday and Sunday. Let me get some water. This game is locked behind resin. This item is locked behind resin. So, let me show you something else. Let me go to the Adventure Handbook. So, let me go to the domains. All of these here that you see with the domains, they're all locked behind resin. All of them. If you want to get stronger, you can get artifacts out in the world. You can go explore the world. That be, if I go to the map and go, prime example, I go to this town here. This most of the time have artifacts. If you want to go find artifacts in the world or do anything like this, you go this way. You see those stars here? Stuff like this. This thing here maybe has an artifact. This thing here maybe have an artifact. You find stuff like that. That's how you get artifacts in the game if you want to go find them and explore the world. But if you want good artifacts for good stuff like all of these here, these are all locked behind resin. It is locked behind resin. So, like, let me go to the map. Like this domain here, I can do this domain. It will cost 20 resin to do this domain, and you can do it up to 8 times. That's how much resin you have. What's 20 times 8? It's 160. That's all the resin you get. Before this update came out, resin was at 120. So they upped it by 40. Like before any updates had, this was locked at that. They did add another item to help out with resin, and that's called condensed resin. And the only way to get those, you have to use these bugs mixed with the resins to unlock, to use the condensed resin. You only could have 3 in your inventory. You can have as many, that's only you can have. But if you only have a certain amount of resin to use, you only can get 3. If you use one of them and then use the last one, like I've been doing, you have 4. And it doubles, the condensed resin doubles what you earn. So it doubles the number of artifacts. And it doubles the number of money or more you get from doing domains and artifacts and world bosses. Actually, no, you can't use condensed resin on world bosses. So just domains and ley lines only. That's basically what the condensed resin is for. It's for these here, your ley line, and it tells you what you get for the reward there, and your domain for artifacts. Those are the only 2 places you can use the condensed resin. Most of the time, your resin, once you run out of resin, there's not much you can do for character progression at all. So you have to focus on basically what are you going to do every single day, basically. What are you going to choose to do? Because it locks you out of the game. You're only able to play a certain amount of time, and that's it. You're done. If you want to fight the bosses in this game, the main bosses, they cost 60 resin in this game. You wanted to fight this boss, oh, you have to spend 60 resin. It's locked behind resin and a weekly statement. So, it's, you pay the 60, you do the fight, you beat the boss, you get the items. Now you have to wait a week. If they just didn't have it where you didn't have to wait a week and you could do it every day, then it'd be a lot easier to get the stuff that you want, but you can't. So they make you wait an entire week. Same for Dvalin. The other main, these are all spoilers by the way, confront Storm Terror, where you can fight the Dvalin boss fight over and over and over again, but you get to have a but it costs exactly 60 resin to do this fight also. And you have different higher versions. You can come here and be like, you want to team up with people online and do that stuff for the fight, but you have to spend 60 resin to do this fight. You have to spend 60 resin. If you don't have enough resin for the day or whatever you want, you can't do this fight. If I don't have 60, they will not let you enter. They will not, this screen, they won't let you enter anything if you do not have the resin. You don't have the resin, you can't do the fight. If you, like the world bosses here, that be, let me go over here. There's a world boss over here. Yeah, right here. This world boss here costs 40 resin. You can fight them, but once you fight them, if you do not open the resin box, you still cannot fight them again until you open the resin box. You can fight all of them, but you can't get their until you get their items. It's locked behind the resin. You need 40 resin to do anything. And these are other artifacts or character progression items to make your character stronger. You have to have resin. You have to have resin to do anything. There's a you can do everything in this game, but if you don't have resin, your characters will never get stronger. You will get level up books here and there from the world and treasure chests and stuff you find out in the world, but it really don't matter until you start doing. You want to get them to be stronger faster, you have to start spending your resin and stuff for this game. This is why if it's on a mobile, you take forever. But I'm playing on console here. I'm playing on my PC. I'm at the point where I could do all the stuff that I want to do and just go from there.
What was that?
So, like I said, my level up is locked behind resin. My weapon progression is locked behind resin. My artifacts is locked behind resin. Constellation is locked behind gacha system. And money, talents, and that be talent books, is locked behind your resin. So keep in mind that the resin plays a giant role in this game, and it will limit on how you play and everything else. At this point, you can kill all the monsters in the game if you want, but every single monster has a cooldown time till the next day, because they respawn every 24 hours. So every 24 hours they respawn. So if you kill all the monsters for a specific thing, you have another time limit of waiting. There's a lot of time limits, a lot of money systems, and a lot of resin stuff that's locked behind. So let me show you what I mean for the let me show you what. All right, let me go town real fast. Whew. Alright, we're in town. I don't want to talk to you, my guy. Goodbye. Alright. The crafting bench. I'm going to spend 120 resin and 3 of the crystal cores to make condensed resin. So now I have 3 condensed resin and stuff like that. If I go to inventory, my resin for the day has went down exponentially. I don't have much resin now. I only have 40 resin left. So you can actually see in the area where I only have 40 resin left, so I can't really do anything else. But if I spend the 40, it's going to be another condensed resin, basically items. Also, there's another way to get resin. There's one and fine other way. It's called fragile resin in the game. The fragile resin here is another extremely hard item to get. This item does not drop. It does not drop in this game whatsoever. Only specific quests maybe give out one or two, but that's it. If you want to get these items, you have to go to your adventure guide over here to talk to them. And you claim adventure rank rewards. And this is where you get your fragile resin. But there's a problem with this. Once you hit the highest, which is 60, fragile resin will not come. You will not get it anymore. There will be no more fragile resin. At that point, once you hit the highest, there is no more. You got all of the fragile resin in the game. You got all of it. Also, with that gone and out of the way, so you can use all your fragile resin to help you speed up the process of getting stuff faster. I used a bunch of it. That's what helped me get to level 80 so quick. I used my fragile resin, and it restores 60 points for fragile resin. So, but this item is extremely hard to get, and there's not really much to give out. So, the resin system sucks. I hate it. I don't like it. And it limits everything on what you do. I think they should remove it. If not remove it, add more fragile resin in the world that you can get from chest or something else to be able to keep doing other stuff. But since they don't give it out, you're limited to what you can do. And that's basically what this game's all about, is limiting on how you play and everything else. So now I need to talk about the next big thing, is the gacha system. The gacha system in this game is where you get your characters and everything else. So you go to the wish, is your gacha system. This is where you spend actual money. You don't have to spend actual money, but you can spend actual money for pile gems, and those pile gems convert into this to do wishes, and you need another wish item to do more wishes. You need a specific wish item to do wishes here. If you want to do the swords, you can, and then you also get these. They added other ways to get more wishes for more summons, but that's your gambling right there. What I just showed you, your wish system is your gambling. This is gambling. All of this is gambling. 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 All of it. The shop. Not here. The shop. This is where you can buy or spend money, actual money, to get your stuff. They do have this, Blanking of the Moon, where it's $4 US, $4.99. You can change your gifts. So here you can see right here where it costs. And then you can use these here to buy the crystal tops up, or right here is what you use to get Genesis crystals. One Genesis crystal is one Pio gem. One Genesis crystal is one Pio gem. So whatever, you get 60 Genesis crystal plus another 60, that's 120 Pio gems. That's enough to do at least maybe one summon. That's about it. Just one summon. But one wish, basically. One of the gacha game. So this is your gacha game. This is your microtransaction that are in this game. So if you want to spend the money, go right ahead. If that's your choice. You do get these where you can actually get specific characters, but you need to be spending the gacha. You have to spend the gacha to get a bunch of these. I'm just now at 34, and it took forever to even get that high. You gotta spend thousands, not thousands, yeah, probably thousands. I've heard people spend thousands of dollars already to get specific characters. I ain't doing all that. I'm not trying to spend all that much money where money can go better else towards something else instead of this game. You have the gift shop, and you have the recommend but there's not much you can do. You can see that there's other items that are the other currency here when you spend for gachas that you can get these. But if you're playing the game and you're doing all the mobs, you don't really need to spend anything on here. You don't need to. There's no point except for the Acquainted Fate and or the Intertwined Fate. Those are your summoning items to do the summons. And it costs Pyogems. Right here. 160 Pyogems will get you one summon. Basically. You need 160 Pyogems to get one summon. Basically. So you get one chance of a wheel, the one chance of gambling. That's it. Unless you get 10 summons, which is 1,600 Pyogems, which is you get 10 chances to get a specific thing for rolling. So if you want to see what those odds are, you go to Wish, you click Details, and it shows you right here in the details for the characters and what your information is for your gacha system. But that's basically it. Also, weapons is locked behind gacha. All of your weapons, all the 3-star weapons in this game are locked behind gachas, except the specific the ones that you can find in the world, but they're extremely rare. I mean, extremely rare drops. Extremely fucking rare drops. They're rare. That is a rare drop. Super, super rare. You can get specific weapons here if you want that are not in the gacha system. Here, you can go here and I will like something made. This, to make these weapons, to get that, this item, extremely rare. This is an extremely rare item to get, and it only drops from 2-3 bosses. That's it. It don't drop from the other bosses in this game. Dvalin, the child fight, and the wolf. That's it. Those are the 3 fights. And these items are hard. They're extremely rare because it takes a week. You have to wait a week to refight him to get a chance. They get a small chance to fight. To get this. So this is what this game is. It is very limiting. You are limited to everything. The Wish system is your gacha. This is where your mobile stuff, you want to spend all your money. And this is where people says it's a gacha game because of this. It's more than a gacha game. There's a lot of stuff that's wrong with this game. But yeah, that's the gacha system. And those two, the gacha system and the resin system, is what makes this game horrible. Not horrible, but upsetting. Because I wish you could just buy the characters instead of doing banners to get a small chance to get these characters. Like, I saw someone spend almost maybe $5,000 to $6,000 just to get Klee or Dayluk or one of these 5-star characters. And they're extremely hard to get. Venti, he ain't coming back anytime soon for a very long time. If you didn't play this game at the very beginning when this game started, when it came out on the release date, you missed your chance to get Venti. You don't have no other way to get Venti until the banner changes or they remove the banners or change out the banners. It's what it is. It is what it is for the gacha. And that's the gacha system. The gacha system. Also, there's another thing you can spend money on is a battle pass. They added a battle pass to this game where you can do the battle pass to get more specific items. Yay! More items that you can find out in the world if you want to try to level up your stuff faster. There's also specific level 4 weapons that are also you can get in this. That you can get these, but you have to spend money to get these. These are money weapons here. You cannot find these in the world. These are your money weapons that you spend actual cash to buy to get. To unlock this battle pass, it costs $9. Or if you want the other one, that costs $20 and you get a bunch of levels added on. So, and you get 5 fragile resins for that. They're giving out fragile resin when you buy this battle pass for $20. Money, 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 money. Money pays for everything. Money gets you everywhere in this game. If you're a free-to-play player, eh. Like me, free-to-play player. I'm not spending any money on this. Um, but that's about it. So those are the two things. You also get your events. Now I'm going to be talking about the event mechanic that's in this game. For another gameplay mechanic, you have events. Events lead to special areas, like, not the battle pass. We go to map. This here was a whole event. You can go to it here now. It unlocked the continent for you guys. For when it came out with Albedo, I did most of the quest and story for that and everything else. But the events tab here, it changes once in a while. You do get Seize the Day, but it's not like another gacha game where it comes out every day and you keeps going every single day. This does this many times and then it's going to be gone until like near the end of next month, and that's when it comes back. It's going to come back at the end, maybe near the end of next month, when the Seize the Day come back. Test run, they always change these with banners, and they're up here for the entire duration of when the banner's out. That's how long these are out. They give out pile gems. This here quest here only has 3 days left. Once it does gone, there's no more events for a while until they bring up another one. Once this event is done in 4 days, if you don't do these, you will miss out on getting all these pile gems, and then in 4 days, it's gone for good, and it's not going to come back until a while again. So, yeah. And then you have this place, which is the Spiral Abyss. You can do this whenever you want. If you're not strong enough, you will not win at all. But it has tons of pile gems, other items that you can get. But you have to play through this, but you need to get your character stronger to do this. So you just gotta level up your stuff. But to level up your stuff, I already talked about it, takes a very long time to do. So this is basically what the events are in the game. You got the quest, the battle pass. The battle pass is like the wish. Then you have co-op. Let's talk about co-op. There's no point to co-op in this game. There's 0 point to do it. You can do it if you want to and play with your friends, but I play by myself, single player. I've done all of this stuff on my own. All of the stuff you've seen right now, I've played on my own. And let me show you my inventory for like specific items. Let me show you. Go to inventory. You can see all my items. You can see all the stuff you can get. All the stuff here. You can see all the food. All of the items here. All of these takes a while to get. All of these. But you can see all my items that I've gotten so far in this game, and a lot of it is locked behind resin system, but I think I'm about done. I've talked about what I mostly wanted to talk about was the resin and everything. I'm going to give this game on my rating scale a 4.5 out of 8 on my rating scale. This game, it's a nice game. The reason why I'm rating it so low, I would rate it lower, but I'm not going to, is because of the graphics, the animations, everything else in this game, which is pretty cool. But I'm giving it a 4.5. There's one other topic I didn't really talk about, is the elements in this game. You can see certain characters of wind, geo, water, fire, and ice. And there's this other one called Deandro that you have, but you can pick within lightning. And they all correspond with each other. You do have party setups if you want to do specific elemental residents. It took me a while to find this here, where you have specific things for your elemental stuff in your character pool and see what they can do. Your elemental residents is what your party is and what they can do for helping you out to survive certain things, but there's really no need. Once you get to a point of your characters are at super high level and you're like a little bit higher level than the monsters are, they're extremely weak, and you'll just steamroll through them like crazy. This game is easy. It is not hard at all. And for the most part, that's it. Let me show you one event here. Is this guy with the balloons or whatever. He's going to ask you to go do something. He says, I'm here to do some business. And it says trade. It tells you what items he wants. I have all of those items. I have 5 of everything. So I get 60,000 that and that. And then a confirm exchange. Done. That was easy. Well, that was a nice event. That was so lame. It was just a short. That's basically it. So, I talked a bunch. I talked about the animations. I talked about the fighting. I didn't really talk about the fighting much. If you want to go fight some monsters and see what I mean, you can just go here. I'll just show you. I'm just going to run around and show you what I mean real quick. Bum, bum, bum. Also, there's auto-targeting, so if you're not facing a specific way, it will only auto-targets on specific monsters.
Stand clear.
So,
Absorption test.
you can see how easy I'm killing these people. Dead already. Didn't take long. And you can see what the element reactions are mixed up with, and boom, died already. Super easy. Once you get extremely high level and everything else, elements work with each other, and it works really well. So like, I'm wet. I got the wet status. If I use electricity, it does more damage. If I use ice, it frees them. If I use sucrose, it makes it so everybody is wet. So. I showed you a little bit of the battle system. I'll show you one more, a little bit of the battle system and everything else. You can't really run in this. So I'm going to just use Lisa, not Lisa.
Mark 2.
That was easy. I already killed them so fast. So you can see what the elemental reactions look like. My rating scale is still going to be, it's still a 4.5 for this game.
Stand clear.
Now, to make this fight even faster, it's like, get into the water, and you'll see what I mean for how fast I kill this And there we go. We finished the daily commission for the day also, and you got to see what the game looks like. Now you get to see everything I just told you and what you can do. So this game, my conclusion is, its game is a 4.5 on my rating scale out of 8. At this point, once you hit Adventure Rank 45, is nothing but a collecting game at that point. Unless you want to spend for wishing and all of that stuff to get more characters. But there's really no point of getting more characters, because if you're focusing on leveling up specific characters, you'd rather spend your time doing that instead of spending money doing everything else. And also, the resin system fucking sucks in this game, and I don't like it. It takes forever to do anything in this game because you are locked behind a lot of stuff. Everything is limiting in this game. It is very, very limited. Will I recommend it to other players? Sure, but my real recommendation is no, don't play this game. Don't play it. If you want to play it because you like anime waifus, go right ahead. But if not, no, I'm not going to recommend this game to anyone because there's too many flaws, there's too many limiting factors that you can do, and I don't like it when game developers decide how we should play this game. I've heard other people talk about this game should be played. Oh, why are you going so fast playing this game? Why are you doing this so quickly? Why are you rushing to the end? And it's like, how am I've sat down. It took me no more than 2 months to get to right here where I'm at. It doesn't take long if you're playing on console. It doesn't take long at all if you're playing for 8 to 10 hours or more for playing this game. It doesn't take long. But if you want to get the strength of the characters, it's going to take longer than 2 months. If you want to get the strength up to where I'm at. If you didn't have fragile resin, you could probably get up to where I'm at. And if you didn't have it, it's going to take forever. But you do have fragile resin you can use to get up to make your character stronger. And it takes time. So I talked about mostly everything about this game. I talked about the gameplay mechanics, the animations, the graphics, the story, the level design of the game, and mostly my time is gameplay mechanics. And do I see this game as fun? Yes and no, like I stated in my first statement. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know this is going to be a long one. I think this is an hour or maybe at least an hour and 30-minute long video, but I'm going to edit it. I'm not going to edit to make it short because this is very, very personal to me, and I've played this game a lot. And I'm going to end off on just showing you guys the characters from Sucrose to left to right, and Talon's here. Boom! So now you get to see what she looks like in the scroll by. Now you get to see what she looks like. Oh, these are the anime waifus you get if you want to play this game. Remember, if you want to play this game, these are the anime waifus. Anime waifus are hiding behind this game. Certain characters are not waifus because of their age. Just letting you know now. But this is your game. This is the game that everyone likes. A lot of people likes it. I like it fairly, but I do play it, and I'm slowly starting not to play it as much anymore because I'm at that point where it's not as fun as I think it is. But I hope this review does reach somebody, and I hope somebody do like this review and everything else for this game and everything else. So I would like to say wham and thanks for checking out my Genshin Impact review for you guys. Thank you for checking out my Genshin Impact review. Thank you guys for checking out my Genshin Impact review, and I will see you guys in the next video review. See you guys later.